Life changed quickly. The reality is the disease is here and is progressing fast. I witnessed a gradual decline in his physical abilities, his awareness, and his ability to connect words. Simple tasks that were once taken for granted, like walking or eating, became increasingly difficult. I was used to the silence, so that just became worse. Staring at the wall, I would turn on a football game, he would become agitated. I would play music softly, he would become agitated. My loved one was really in a world of his own. The rapid progression of the illness left me with a constant sense of confusion. What's next? What more could he possibly go through? How much more can a human take? A feeling that time was slipping away faster than I could comprehend. The diagnosis cast a long shadow over our lives, but this was nothing new, just more severe. For me, sleeping in the attic continued. He still found ways to become violent. Throwing things became his way of dealing with things, I guess. Or was it just the disease? I knew that the road ahead would be challenging. I honestly had no idea how challenging. There was nothing left to hold on to. Hope is gone. Praying wasn't helping, but I was in survival mode. Each day brought new behaviors, less ability to do anything. The beautiful blue eyes were now without sparkle, just a shell left of a man who used to be the picture of strength. This is where you must walk the tightrope. You think he's weak, frail, unable to hurt anyone. But don't let this fool you. Their behaviors can change in an instant. I learned to navigate the complexities of medication schedules, doctor's appointments, the house, everything but living. The routines were important to keep from my loved one. No surprises. Routine was crucial. The physical demands were exhausting. He's 6'2", I'm 5'4", 3'4" on a good hair day. He was in diapers now full time. It was hard to change them by myself. He'd fight me every step of the way. I couldn't ask for help because I wanted to protect his dignity, but that had to come to the end. Witnessing the gradual decline of someone you love is a heart-wrenching experience. The good days were no longer. I had a deep sense of sadness as I watched my loved one struggle. Despite the pain, torture in his brain, dizziness, shaking, fear in his eyes, the once small victories I would celebrate were no longer. Throughout the journey, I was struck by my loved one's incredible fight to live, which didn't help matters at the end. Despite the physical limitations and emotional burden he faced, or was he aware, I'll never know. But sometimes not understanding can be a blessing. He would mention of when he would return for work or go to Half Moon Bay. I didn't have the courage to tell him these days are gone. My mom would bring him ice cream shakes. He loved those, but would only eat small bits and went to the freezer. My sister-in-law knew he loved chocolate, so she would bring them for him. My family understood his need for dignity, so they never pushed to see him at this time. Just leave goodie bags on the porch or a quick handoff. That meant so much to me. I do know for sure he trusted me. And to the point I became housebound. He would panic if I left. So it was easier to stay home, but even to go outside to get some fresh air, the baby monitor came with me. The experience of caring for my loved one had a profound impact on my own spirituality. Is there a God? Why would he give someone this horrible disease? Faced with the fragility of life and the inevitability of death, I found myself questioning my beliefs and searching for deeper meaning. I was not raised with organized religion, but I did believe in God. But where was he now? I'm praying, trying to take care of my loved one. I wasn't receiving messages from up above like people had talked about. No one was talking to me from up above. Where is this God that everyone says is there for you? I couldn't catch a break. No calm days. Constant worry of him getting out of bed, his violence becoming worse. But words were not said. I'd ask myself, could he really hurt me? No, not the man I knew. I sought solace in prayer, meditation, and the wisdom of spiritual words from my school. This class kept me afloat, while the experience tested my faith at times. It ultimately strengthened it. I came to realize that faith is not about having all the answers, but about finding comfort and guidance in the midst of uncertainty. I found myself wanting to talk to my dad, who had passed, but there was nothing flying by to let me know he was with me. I begged for a sign, but no sign came. Does that mean he's not up in heaven watching over me? It is about trusting in a power greater than ourselves, even when we cannot understand the reasons behind our suffering. Through this journey, I discovered a wellspring of strength and resilience within myself that I never knew existed, but always the doubt of, am I doing enough? I learned to embrace the present moment, to find gratitude in the midst of hardship, and to appreciate the precious gift of life. Yes, there were times I broke down in tears, and my doctor, his doctor, would return messages with words of encouragement. I was so grateful for every one of those messages. Navigating the healthcare system added another layer of complexity to our journey. When you're tired, mentally wiped out, the insurance aspect was just another layer of the puzzle. We encountered a maze of specialists, treatments, and insurance protocols, often feeling lost and overwhelmed. While we were fortunate to have some compassionate and dedicated medical professionals on our side, our neurologist, family practice, pain management doctor, we did have compassion there. I grabbed onto every word they said. The system, as a whole, felt impersonal and fragmented, cold, and just a job. My efforts to contact our governor, senator, mayor lead to no response. I was frustrated, wanting to find out why we had no resources, help, and, again, left alone. Eventually, I made the difficult decision to transition my loved one to hospice care. While initially met with resistance as it felt like admitting defeat, their guidelines were so cut and dry. He was declined palliative care because we didn't have palliative care in Reno. Then told he qualified for hospice, but only to be told the next day he didn't qualify because he could make it to the toilet. He was tripping, falling, using the wall to walk, wearing diapers, and they turned us down. I challenged their decision. And because he started having difficulty with everything, including letting me change his diapers, I demanded a reevaluation. And I say, he was accepted. But I could feel the tension key on the doctor's voice. She was cold, bitter, and shouldn't be in the hospice setting. She caused me more anguish and tears. Researching your hospice care is extremely important. Making sure they understand your loved one's disease. I assumed if you're going to take a case of behavioral frontal lobe dementia, you would know what meds would help, which meds would make him worse. I wish I could say we had some great moments, but they were gone. We were married by paper alone. That part of our life had been gone for years, and I am ashamed to say I grieved our marriage years prior, not because I wanted to, I had to, so I could still care for him, but my marriage vows meant something to me. I took them seriously. As the end drew closer, our focus shifted from trying to force him to eat, force his daily routine. I let him and his body to determine the day's plans, which meant just laying in his own world. My loved one no longer wanted me to read to him, lay it all next to him. He wanted isolation. This was hard for me to understand. I learned that sometimes the greatest gift we can give someone is the gift of our presence, but my loved wanted to be alone. This wasn't about me. It was about him. It is about putting aside my own needs, fears, and anxieties, and simply being there for the people we love, offering them our unwavering love and support, no matter what that entails. The power of support. Throughout this challenging journey, we were sustained by the unwavering love and support of my family and a few close friends. Just a call to check on me or on my loved one meant the world. My mom was a constant support, helping me with whatever I needed, even if that was to watch my granddaughter, take her to the park, bring food. It was a huge gift. My boys were there, my neighbors offering support. In times like this, you learn a lot about who really is there for you. This disease will teach you who is there for the long haul. Some of his friends called me weekly to check on me, so unexpected friendships became its own reward. My sister-in-law often dropped a goodie bag off for my loved one. It meant so much to know that others were still thinking of him. Some rallied around us, offering practical assistance, emotional support, and a listening ear when we needed it most. Their presence was a constant source of comfort and strength, reminding us that we were not alone in our struggle. I learned the importance of accepting help, of allowing others to share our burden, something I've never been good at. It was in those moments of shared vulnerability that we truly experienced the depth of human connection and the power of community. We discovered that love, compassion, and empathy have the power to heal even the deepest wounds. To those who offered a helping hand, a shoulder to cry on, or simply a listening ear, I offer our heartfelt gratitude. Your kindness and compassion made all the difference.